It was a bright Saturday morning in Chicago, Illinois. The bells of a small neighborhood church rang gently as people filed into the wooden pews. A buzz of whispers rippled through the crowd. Everyone had come, not so much to celebrate, but to witness what many already believed would be the most unusual wedding of the year. The bride was Amelia Carter, a kind-hearted woman who worked as a caregiver and nanny for families across the city. She was 31, soft-spoken, with a warm smile that could light up even the darkest room. Life had not been easy for her. She had grown up in a modest home in Mississippi and had moved to Chicago years ago to work and send money back to her family. Her gown was not a gown at all. She wore her simple nanny uniform, pressed as best she could, because she couldn't afford anything more. Guests exchanged amused glances, some even snickering at her appearance. The groom, Ethan Walker, stood nervously at the altar, tall, with a rough beard and shoulders slightly hunched. He wore an old suit that looked like it had been rescued from a second-hand shop. His shoes were cracked at the edges, his tie faded. Many assumed he was a homeless man Amelia had foolishly fallen in love with. He had no family present, no friends, not even a proper wedding ring. He only had Amelia. On the left row, Amelia's closest friends Rachel, Dana, and Lauren sat together, their voices just low enough to seem discreet, but sharp enough for others to hear. Rachel shook her head. I told her not to do this. Look at him, he looked like he lives under a bridge. Dana sighed, whispering, Amelia deserves better. She's worked so hard, and this is her reward. A man who can't even buy her a decent dress. Lauren smirked. This marriage won't last a month. Just wait and see. But Amelia's eyes never left Ethan's. She loved him with a love that others couldn't comprehend. She had met him one rainy night near Union Station, sitting on the cold steps with nothing but a thin blanket, while hundreds walked by, ignoring him. She had stopped. She offered him food. They talked for hours. From that night on, she visited him, listened to his stories, and slowly discovered the gentleness behind the ragged clothes. She saw patience, kindness, and humility, a richness that money could never buy. Now, against all advice, she stood ready to marry him. The ceremony began. Reverend Michael Harris asked the traditional question, if anyone objects to this union, speak now or forever hold your peace. The church went still, but the whispers, the laughter, the judgmental stares, they lingered. Amelia's heart stung. If she held Ethan's rough hand with quiet strength. When it came time for vows, Amelia's voice trembled, but rang clear. Ethan, I don't care about what you own, where you come from, or what others think. I choose you because of your heart, because of the way you listen, the way you make me feel safe. I love you with everything I am. Some rolled their eyes. Others chuckled. Then Ethan spoke, his deep voice soft but steady. Amelia, you saw me when no one else did. You gave me love when I had nothing. You are my greatest blessing. I promise to love you for the rest of my life. The crowd burst into quiet laughter. Some covered their mouths but couldn't hide their smirks. Rachel muttered, the rest of his life. He doesn't even have a house. Even the groomsman, serving only as a witness, shook his head in disbelief. And then something unexpected happened. Ethan raised his hand. Pastor, may I say something before we finish? The Reverend hesitated, then nodded. Ethan stepped toward the microphone. His old shoes squeaked against the floorboards. His wrinkled suit sagged on his shoulders. Everyone braced for embarrassment. Instead, what they heard left the entire church frozen. I know what you think of me, Ethan began. You laugh at my clothes, my shoes, my appearance. You believe Amelia has made the worst mistake of her life. But you are all wrong. I am not the man you think I am. I am not homeless. I am not poor. My name is Ethan Walker, and I am the founder of Walker & Co. Properties here in Chicago. I am a millionaire. Gasps erupted. The whispers turned to silence. I chose to live this way, Ethan continued, his voice calm but firm. I needed to know if there was still someone in this world who could love me for me, not for my money. Amelia was that person. She sat with me in the cold. She fed me, cared for me, and never once asked for anything in return. If you came here to laugh, then know this: the joke is not on us. It is on those who judge without knowing the truth. The room went still. Rachel's jaw dropped. Dana's eyes widened. Lauren's face flushed red. The mocking vanished, replaced by shame. Amelia, however, stood frozen, her heart pounding. Tears filled her eyes, not just from joy, but from pain. She whispered, Why didn't you tell me?" After the ceremony, while guests suddenly showered them with respect, Amelia pulled Ethan aside. "Why did you keep this from me? Do you know how humiliated I felt standing there?" Ethan held her trembling hands. "Amelia, please. All my life, women have only wanted me for money. I was tired of shallow love. I had to know if someone could love me without any of it. And then I found you." Amelia turned away, her voice breaking. "Love isn't a test, Ethan. You should have trusted me from the start." With tears streaming, she walked out of the church, leaving Ethan in stunned silence. Days turned into weeks. Amelia stayed in her tiny apartment, ignoring his calls. Torn between love and betrayal, she replayed the laughter of the guests, their sudden change of respect after his revelation. It broke her heart that people only valued them once money entered the picture. 2 weeks later, Ethan appeared at her door. This time, he was clean-shaven, wearing a tailored suit. His polished shoes clicked softly as he stepped forward, holding flowers. His eyes, however, carried no pride, only regret. "Amelia," he said quietly, "I know I hurt you. I should have trusted you, but fear blinded me. I've lost so much to people who only cared about wealth. You showed me love I thought I'd never find. Please forgive me." Tears rolled down Amelia's cheeks. "I never cared about your money, Ethan. I only wanted honesty. I married you because I loved you as you were. That was enough." He placed the flowers in her hands. "Then let me make it right. Not with money, but with love. Let me give you the wedding you truly deserve." Weeks later, the city witnessed a wedding like no other. The church was filled with roses and golden light. Chandeliers sparkled above as guests entered in awe. Amelia wore a stunning white gown. Ethan stood beside her in a perfectly tailored suit. But it wasn't the wealth or the beauty that silenced the crowd, it was the love in their eyes. Rachel, Dana, and Lauren sat quietly this time, humble, ashamed. No whispers, no mockery. They had learned their lesson. As the ceremony ended, Ethan addressed the guests. "This day is not just about us, it's a reminder. Never judge love by appearances. True love is not built on money or status. It is built on loyalty, kindness, and trust." Applause filled the hall. Some guests wept openly. Amelia smiled through her tears, forgiving him at last. What began with laughter ended in admiration. What began with judgment ended in respect. Amelia and Ethan proved that true love is not about wealth or appearances. It is about seeing the heart of another person and choosing them again and again. And when the celebrations faded, when the lights dimmed and silence returned, Amelia and Ethan held hands in their home, grateful for the journey that had tested them, strengthened them, and proven that real love was priceless.